So September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and public benefit organization Cupcakes of Hope will embark on its annual Bake for Cancer Challenge. The organization is aiming to raise about 3 million rand, and that will be used to assist about 120 child patients every month by paying for things like medical or day-to-day expenses. A bake-along virtual event is planned for the 25th of this month, and it will see celebrity chef Ben Ungermann from Masterchef Australia joining several other media personalities. So for more on this initiative, let's speak to Chef Ben himself, who joins us now via our video link from Cape Town. And Ben, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for making time to speak to us here on the AM Report, especially considering how important an initiative like this is. But some background as a start, just for the benefit of our viewers, right? Cupcakes of Hope, you do this every year. Get us a sense of what the nonprofit is about and what exactly the initiative entails.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Ayanda. So Cupcakes of Hope is a registered nonprofit organisation. Essentially, it raises awareness for childhood cancer. This is not something that just obviously affects the elderly. It affects all people from all walks of life. The manpower that's required is massive. They assist the sufferers themselves along with their families. So just such a beautiful organisation to really be behind.
Right. And can you speak to us a bit more about childhood cancer, especially in a country like ours? I imagine in some instances, many people go on with their lives unaware that something like this happens until it affects them personally.
Yes, definitely. I especially think just during the pandemic and everything like that, things like cancer have sort of been pushed to the side. It's something that's very real. It's actually just recently affected me. My best friend in Australia recently just passed away from cancer, and he was very, very young. So this is definitely a charity that I fully believe in, that I'm 100% behind, and I just know collectively together we can make a difference.
Right. Let's speak about how you're finding South Africa while being involved in this initiative, right? Many people might have an interest in what you do because of your experience on Masterchef Australia. How's it been being here?
So I think this is now my 5th trip to South Africa, and I absolutely love the country, can I tell you. Not only is it a beautiful country in terms of geography, but it's actually, for me, it's the people that make it. I absolutely love South Africans. Every time I mingle with them, I just find them to be just really pleasant people, and I just love the culture and what they're all about. So really, really stoked to be here. Based in Cape Town at the moment, so living the life. But, I will be getting around for sure.
Absolutely. Does baking fundamentally change depending on where you are, by the way? I mean, just out of interest, I imagine, of course, there are cultural specific things that people do in Australia and South Africa. But has anything taken you by surprise, for instance, about how people bake in this country?
No, not really. See, the thing about baking is it's completely different to cooking in a savoury aspect. So I just find that when you cook savoury food, you're cooking with love, you're seasoning as you go, you're tasting. With baking, it's like a science. You don't want to mess with that formula. If you do that, then you could be looking at a train smash.
Yeah, no, and keep me away from the kitchen as a start, and I think your success rate might increase dramatically already. With that in mind, though, I mean, an initiative like this is calling on people to bake, and, the science can go wrong, and I speak from personal experience. So how do you ensure, if you can, that people at least try to get this right?
Okay, so in terms of the 25th, there's going to be a cook-along. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be taking you through it. So it's going to be foolproof. I don't want anyone to stress. And vanilla cupcakes, I'm going to be honest, guys, it's not hard. It's really not hard. So you're in safe.
Yeah, right. But, I mean, if people want to get involved, because it's an important initiative nonetheless, you're trying to raise about 3 million rand, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, and that, according to some calculations we've done, could help about 120 children. It's the kind of thing typically you'd want to see flourish, even though sometimes people might be scared because of the complexities that come with baking. Yeah,
definitely. Look, just everyone in South Africa right now, just try to get involved. Said they were going ahead with it. I don't want people to stress about baking. I mean, like I said, vanilla cupcakes, it's easy, guys, and I'll be taking you through every step. We do have that 3 million rand that we are trying to raise for the families. We're looking to recruit about 3,000 bakers. But that's not a cutoff. We'd love more. But I have got a little bit of an extra incentive. So for whoever raises the most amount of money for that individual, I will be traveling to them, to their home, and hosting a private fine dining dinner for them.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is quite the incentive. Given the work you do nonetheless as a chef, and we've already spoken about whether or not there are differences in ways through which South Africans and perhaps Australians bake, but has there been any dish in this country perhaps that you have tried and that's caught your attention and might be the kind of thing you want to try?
So I love a bit of spice. I love flavor. So I had a bunny chow, which I absolutely adored. But I had my first one in Johannesburg, so I'm not sure if I did it right. Maybe I should have gone to Durban for that one. But I've got to be 100% honest. I can honestly eat my body weight in biltong. I just absolutely love biltong. We don't have it back in Australia. We've got something called beef jerky, which just doesn't really cut it for me. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Look, a lot of people would agree with that. And it's quite strange that it's not necessarily in Australia in and of itself. But I'm wondering whether or not that the kind of exploration around the different dishes in South Africa that you're having might lead this initiative to broadening itself outside of just baking. Do you imagine something like that taking place where it's more than just baking along, but perhaps cooking along too?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, I absolutely love being here. Your culture is so rich. And this is my fifth trip, and I've had many and amazing dishes. Some of my favorite meals actually have been in South Africa, and I've traveled everywhere around the world. Yeah, there is definitely a real difference between baking and savory cooking, right. But both have their pros and cons.
Without a doubt. More to this initiative, though. A lot of people who will be taking part perhaps will be doing that with the children in mind. Have you had any opportunity to meet any of the kids and get a sense of what something like this means to them?
No, I actually only just recently arrived in the country.
Right.
So unfortunately, I haven't been there on ground level. I'm doing all I can at the moment to definitely create awareness, but I'm hoping to get even more involved to meet. Some of these children would be absolutely incredible. And I'm also looking forward to meeting the individual who raises the most amount of money.
Yeah. Very quickly, how did you get involved, by the way, with this initiative? I appreciate I should have asked this first, actually.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So, look, basically, I always had the intention of coming to South Africa and trying to make a difference. I come from a first world country where I feel like we are very blessed, and something that I found that was quite confronting for me is when I first arrived here, just to see that some of the state of people's lives here. So, in any way that I can make a difference, whether it be, fighting cancer, raising funds, helping the individuals on the street, it's just something I love to get involved in. As I said, South Africa, for me, it's not about the country itself, it's about the people, and that's who I've fallen in love with. Literally, when I got off the plane, I was only here for a few days, and I was already in my kitchen cooking up some mean meals and just dropping it off to the people who are obviously without homes at the moment and stuff like that. So, like I said, I'm absolutely in love with South Africans, and for me, any charity or anything that I can get behind, I will. Absolutely.
Very quickly then, you're looking for 3,000 bakers for the hashtag Bake for Cancer fundraiser. How do people get involved?
Perfect. So all they need to do is jump over to cupcakesofhope.org. Just follow all the prompts, guys. It's foolproof. It's super easy. The most important ingredient is your pink apron, which you'll be wearing on the day when you do the cook-along. So, guys, definitely please get involved. Other handles, you've got at Cupcakes of Hope for Instagram, and then for Facebook, there's Bake for Cancer, Cupcakes for Kids with Cancer, sorry. So if I could just please urge all South Africans that are available on that Saturday to please just get involved.
Right. Great stuff. Thanks so much for chatting to us. All the very best with the work that you do, and really do appreciate your time here on the AM Report. And I hope you have a better time also in South Africa whilst you hang out with us. That there is Chef Ben Ungermann, who's actually with Masterchef Australia, but speaking to us also in his capacity as someone who's involved in Cupcakes of Hope, which is a non-profit organization trying to raise awareness specifically for issues around childhood cancer.